Hello children and young people, today I'm going to be sharing with you a little secret. It's very exciting. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to get what you want. I'm pretty good at getting what I want out of life and what I want out of other people. So let's talk about how it is you get what you want in your life. Now, note before we get started is that in the pursuit of getting what you want, it needs to, and I've talked about this before I'm sure in another show, it needs to fall within the rules of ecology, which means that first of all, what you want needs to be good for you. Secondly, it needs to be all right for others, i.e. not bad for anybody else. And thirdly, it needs to fit in with the greater good. So it needs to be, all right with the rest of the galaxy, universe, however broad you want to take it. If at any level, any of those things that you want is going to be detrimental to others or even to yourself, then it makes sense that this probably isn't going to go down too well, and the thing that you are seeking to achieve is likely to get sabotaged, i.e. broken. So, assuming that what you want is good with the rest of the planet and the people in it, then let's talk about how you go about getting more of what you want. First of all, I must drink some tea. The banging, by the way, in the background, I think is fireworks. I'm sorry about that. I've tried to ban fireworks in the whole country, and I've done so unsuccessfully. You, however, may be able to achieve the outcomes that you're looking for in life. So let's talk about how to do that. Step number one in getting more of what you want is you need to start with the end in mind. Don't start at the beginning, start at the end. Now I'm saying the end over here because I'm assuming, and I can't really process this in my brain because I'm too tired. I'm assuming that this is the beginning and this is the end in terms of how time is working when I am filming. But I may well watch this when I'm editing and realise that I've put time in the wrong direction. Assuming this is the start of what you want to do, and this is the thing that you actually want, okay, this is the outcome, because there's always going to be some sort of process involved. It's not like a snap your fingers and there you go, you've got what you want. There's always going to be a process. So if we're here in the process at the very beginning, we need to start by thinking about what it is that we want to achieve at the very end. You must start with your outcome in mind. And you need to get really very clear on what that looks like. If you start just with what you're doing right now, or the very next step that you're going to take, then you can end up going off track very easily, or just bumbling along and never really getting anywhere at all. You have to know what your outcome is. Now that might be an outcome which is involving something quantifiable. By that I mean something that you can measure. If there is a way that you can measure your outcome and have that in mind for where it is that you're aiming for, then that's going to work really well. So for example, you might want to say, I want to achieve this in a test result, or I want to have made friends with this many new people when I go to a party, or I may have a goal of I want to get fit and maybe be able to run this fast in this amount of time. It's kind of the same thing, but you know where I'm going with it. So if we have an outcome in mind, it makes it far easier for our brains to know what it is that we're working towards and to begin setting up the process for us of working towards it. So once we know what our outcome is, the next step is going to be to make a plan about how it is that we get there. This is when we can start to break things down into step by step. We're going to take our big goal and turn it into lots of little goals so that we can tick them off the checklist as we're going along and make ourselves feel good that we're being productive and getting somewhere. So you need to be realistic, really, which is challenging because sometimes when you've got a nice thing that you're aiming for, you just want to zap through and get there. And then you don't zap through and you get disappointed and disheartened, and then it doesn't work and you give up and you fail. It doesn't have to be that way. Basically, we just need to make sure that we're being really realistic with ourselves about each of the steps we're going to take, how long it might take for us to get there, and whether or not they're actually within the skills that we have, or if we're going to need to get help from elsewhere to be able to achieve them. So we're going to take the overall thing and now start breaking it down into step by step, making sure that we make a note of what the very first thing is that we need to do. If you don't know what the very first thing is that you need to do, you're never going to get started anyway. So here's what we've got so far. We have an outcome in mind. We have a series of steps that it's going to take us to get there. And we know that what the very first thing is that's going to instigate the whole production taking place. The next thing is to get prepared, get yourself ready to work really, really hard. Because here's the thing. Most of the good stuff, most of the outcomes that are really worthwhile having are going to take a whole buttload of hard work and commitment to get yourself there. So this is a good point to ask yourself, how badly do you really want this? Because you're gonna have to be prepared to put in the work that's required to get you there. And if you are not prepared to do that, and let's just be honest with ourselves here, it's okay if you're not. If you can honestly say to yourself, I'm not sure this is me, then that's fine. Step away and stop promising outcomes to other people that might have benefited from this. Move on and do something else. But if you know that you are prepared to apply yourself, to do this hard work that is required, and you are actually prepared to do it, then crack on. So we've already mentioned that there may be other people that are involved in this, or who are going to benefit from the outcome of what this thing does for you, and how it's important not to overpromise to other people, particularly if you're not prepared to put in the hard work that's going to be required to achieve it. For example, if you tell your art teacher that you are going to get this project done, and that this is going to be the most fantastic thing she's ever seen in her entire life. And then you realise that actually there's quite a bit of work here, and I'm not entirely sure that I really want to put in that much effort. Then you need to go back and revise that proposition. You need to go back and revise that promise that you had made, because we already know you're maybe not going to be able to stick with it and keep it. So we're just going to make sure that we're being realistic with ourselves, but also that we're not misleading other people either. But as well as hard work, there's another really big important thing that we have to take into consideration, and that is responsibility. You are going to have to take 100% responsibility for your outcomes. If you believe that, the universe is going to come together to make this work for you, wake up. If you believe that other people are going to rescue you when things get tricky, no. If you honestly think that other people are going to be responsible for getting what you need for you, that's not how it works around here. This is how it works. There are going to be certain provisions that are available to you in life. There is plenty there available from a resource perspective that you can reach out and use. But you need to do the reaching out, and then you need to do the productive side of using those resources. But you're getting nothing for free here. This is life we're talking about, right? And surely by now someone has told you that you ain't getting nothing for free in life. It's either going to take you time, energy, money, commitment, hard work, and all of those other sorts of things. You're always going to have to invest something of yourself. And this is where your responsibility comes in. Because if you think that any of those things are just going to land in your lap, then you are wrong, my friends. What we need to be doing instead is thinking, like, the question is, how can I? How can I make this happen? How can I do this in the most productive way? How can I ensure that I get to my outcome, even though I'm going at this 100% on my own? How can I make sure that I still feel supportive? How questions are really important here. And it helps us to take back the reins of responsibility. So, I got myself in a right old frenzy there. This is how we make it happen. When you have an outcome in mind and it means something to you, you really want to make sure that you get yourself there, follow those tips that I've given you today. Start with the end in mind, then create a plan. Know what your first step is and take it. Hard work, just work really hard and take full responsibility for the outcome. And then, if you are very, very lucky, you might just get what you want. Thank you so much for watching and listening today. If you are not already subscribed to this channel, then hit the red subscribe button, click the notifications bell so that you get notified the next time I upload a video, and go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. I would love to hear how you get on putting your energy and focus into getting the outcomes that you want to get. So leave me something in the comments box below about how you are either doing it, going to do it, or have maybe even done it in the past. And for now, I will wish you all a wonderful month, and I will speak to you all probably right before Christmas. Have a great month, everyone. Bye for now.